Today's 5 things is about showing up and doing something, putting yourself on the line. Some might save a life, literally. Some might save someone's job. Some might save a place in your community that means something that might mean a lot in the future to your entire community. And it has a huge impact on the community around you. Here's the thing that gets me. About 3% of people eligible to give blood actually do. Meanwhile, someone in this country needs blood about every 2 seconds for surgeries, cancer treatment, childbirth, car accidents, you name it. There is an endless need for blood, for plasma, and platelets are particularly important to cancer treatment, and you can't manufacture it. You're the only factory for this stuff. The source is just people, only people, you and your neighbors. Platelets are particularly critical because they have a shorter shelf life. Search blood drive near me or go to redcrossblood.org. It doesn't take more than an hour. It's easy. I've done it a lot. And sometimes it's even fun. The people who are there drawing the blood are usually people with great attitude, usually have a great conversation, and you get a cookie. Thing two, get on a bone marrow or stem cell registry. You can do it right from your desktop, from your phone. You can do it right now if you want to. You'll go online, answer a few questions. They'll send you a kit. It won't cost you anything. It'll have a couple swabs in it. You swab your cheek for about 10 seconds. You put it back in a prepaid envelope and mail it back. You just made yourself available to save someone's life in 10 seconds. Also, my life was saved by CPR. Learn CPR. I haven't told this story publicly, but I dropped dead on January 2nd, a couple years ago. Luckily, my friend was sitting right next to me, moved into action, did CPR, and saved my life. It's a valuable thing, I think. So most people who register don't get called, but you're not available to save someone's life if you're not registered. Thing three, same vein, become an organ donor. You can usually do it through your local DMV or go online to your DMV site and designate yourself as an organ donor. One organ donor can save 8 lives. The part that stops me cold about that is 90% of Americans say they support organ donation, but only 60% ever designate themselves as organ donor. Let's bring that number up. Thing four, this is a hard left turn, but stay with me. Show up for the people who show up for you. The plumber who comes out on a Sunday. Or in my case, we had a plumber come over really quickly. I thought the InSinkErator was shot and we needed to replace it before we had some people coming in. And he came over and found that there was a clog, and he cleared the clog and reset it and charged us his minimum rate for coming over. That's a hero. That's a true hero, because he could have charged me $600 to put in a new InSinkErator. He didn't. So giving him a great review is the least you can do, right? And the same thing when you call a helpline and somebody gives you great service, solves your problem, or gets you a lower deal on the thing that you're trying to buy and negotiate about. Ask them if they can connect you to their supervisor. Sometimes they can't, but they can usually give you their email address and give that person a glowing review. They're doing a great job. The supervisor almost never knows that. And something like that is usually tracked. It ends up in the person's file, and it can be the difference between them getting a raise or them being let go during the next layoff. These things are easy, and they can be really important. In a job where people are calling frustrated and angry, sometimes the only positive feedback they get in a month or maybe a year might be your comment. Thing five, a little more difficult, as thing five usually is. Start showing up to meetings that affect your life or your community. These days, in my region, we have an issue with lots of data centers going up and warehouses being turned into ICE detention centers. If you're not in agreement with that, showing up is really the most important thing you can do. A lot of times the people on the board making this decision are your neighbors. And when they expect 12 people and 200 people or 80 people or 450 people show up, that has a really big effect on what they're thinking, because these people live with you. Their kids go to the same schools as your kids. That much disapproval has a really big effect. If you look across the country, community outrage, communities standing up for their rights can make a difference. Some of these projects have been canceled. Locally, they want to put up data centers where there are beautiful nature sanctuaries. I've been talking to people and trying to convince them that just being there, being part of the numbers of people responding, can be the difference between that thing happening or that thing not happening. Look, we are seeing enormous things happen at very small tables these days. Very often these things happen at the town board level, 6 or 7 people making the decision and imposing it on the rest of us. Your voice matters. Whatever the thing is that's happening in your town that keeps you lying awake at night, those things can feel like a done deal. But they're not always. Most times they're not. They need approval from the community. They need a feedback period. When you go to these meetings, bring a friend. They add to the numbers and they'll give you personal support if you decide to get up and speak. So here's the whole thing in one sentence. Actually, nothing in your community is decided by majority rule. It's usually just the few people who show up. You can fight anxiety and hopelessness with action. Actions that support other people and actions that bring people together. I'm Dave. This is the Public Square Project. 5 things to empower you when the news just feels like too much. If you found this useful or entertaining or ridiculous, share it with 5 of your friends. And like, follow, and subscribe on all the socials. We're available wherever quality podcasts are sold. Thanks for watching. I'll follow up with you again next week. Take care.